Alright, in this video I want to talk about my favorite execution scene in all of the Sopranos. It's the end of season 5 where Tony has to basically murder his cousin. This scene is great for a number of reasons. One, it's basically a mercy killing so that Tony B doesn't get tortured by Phil Leotardo. The feeling of the scene is not overly dramatic at all. It's very down to earth, but yet it still makes you feel very much for what Tony S. is having to do in this scene. It's great storytelling and a perfect end to a perfect season. But what I want to focus on mainly here is the direction and editing of this scene that makes it so damn good. The way that it is shot and executed, pun intended, is also perfect. And the first time I saw it, it damn near blew me away with how well constructed the short scene really is. So let's go back to the beginning of the scene where we start off with an establishing shot of the farm showing that it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, nobody else is around. And then Tony B walks into frame and we get a close-up of a gun in his pants. And this gives us a false sense of security. Like, he has a gun, so he has the situation under control. And this builds the first bit of tension in the scene. As he is walking up to his porch, there's music playing in the scene. But when we are introduced to Tony's feet, the music quickly dies down so that we can hear the separate footsteps. And this is where I actually want to go through the rest of the scene shot by shot to show just exactly what the editor was thinking, but also how good the directing is. So first we see and hear footsteps coming around the corner of the porch. Then Tony B looks to his left, and then we cut back and have a full shot of Tony S raising his gun. Then we cut back to Tony B with a face that says, "Oh no, I guess I should have expected this," something like that. Then a cut back to the full shot of Tony where he immediately pulls the trigger. Then a wide shot of the porch showing the distance between them and also the distance that Tony B got blown back. A cut to behind Buscemi's stunt double to show where he lands. A close-up of Tony looking at what he just did. A cut behind a now dead Tony B, where Tony S then walks forward, drops his gun because he knows it's done now. Then we get a nice panning shot up the dead body of Tony B, showing the aftermath and what Tony S is looking at. A cut to Tony S kneeling down to get a closer look. Then a close-up of the bloody aftermath with a focus on the eyeballs, even though there's a bunch of blood and gore around. A close-up of Tony S looking like a combination of remorseful and apathetic. A shot of him getting rid of the gun. A close-up of Tony S looking more at what he has done. Another shot of the dead body with more focus on the eyes. A shot of Tony taking his gloves off and getting up because he knows his work is done now, as much as he hated to do it. Then we get one last shot of the dead body, but this one is quicker and about half as long as all the other shots of the dead body, signifying Tony S is taking one last quick look at what he has done. And then a quick shot of Tony S walking away from it. But in this shot, we get one of the James Gandolfini giving Tony Soprano a mannerism, which I think shows that Tony Soprano is still his normal, harsh, mob boss self. I know it's just a little mannerism, but James Gandolfini's performance is so good, right down to those mannerisms, that it makes me think that's exactly what it is. All right, so there you have it. Hopefully I've shown you in detail why I think this execution scene is the best, or at least my favorite, in all of the Sopranos. Each shot is perfectly placed and paced by the editor so that the viewer knows exactly what is going on every second, every frame in this scene. And that is why I love it. The first time I was watching The Sopranos and I came across this scene, I actually rewound it several times just so I could experience it again and again. That's how impressed I was with the construction of this scene.